Hello, my name is Rachel McDaniel, and today I am going to be reflecting on grant proposal writing. Now, prior to taking this course, I had no experience writing a grant proposal. I had a very limited grasp on the process. I understood that a grant writer must submit a proposal to a funder and along with other nonprofits that are vying for the same funds. And I also understood that it is a very competitive process. I had no knowledge of the elements included in a grant proposal, but I really wanted to learn more about grants. What I learned that research is required. I had to learn how to research grant opportunities that aligned with the nonprofit organization's mission. But first, I had to understand and research the nonprofit. I had to understand their goals, their vision to be able to find a grant opportunity for our community partner title. I also understood that details are crucial. The grant writer must be detail oriented. The grant proposal sections must be meticulously written. And so, as someone that is more of a big picture minded person, I really had to adjust my thinking to the details. Another aspect that I learned is that collaboration is important. The grant writer must have a collaborative spirit. We we worked alongside each other and peers, having a group, but we also worked with Tidepole. And so there was a lot of information exchange, and there was a lot in working in a group. There was a lot of drafting involved in proposal. And so it was really good experience, which I will talk about in the upcoming slides. Okay, I learned a lot about the grant process. I learned about the grant life cycle. But prior to this class, I just thought that the nonprofit received the organization funding, and then they're good to go. I didn't understand that there's more to that the nonprofit had to check in with the funder, that there had to be an evaluation process. And so that was all new to me. I also learned about aligning the nonprofit's mission with the grant's RFP. So in our grant proposal, we chose Art Start, which is a general project support. And in their RFP, it wasn't as detailed as other grant opportunity RFP were, but there were certain key characteristics or key traits in the RFP that we had to ensure that we incorporated into our grant proposal, such as the Art Start really put an emphasis on serving the underserved in the community, especially youth. And so we had to make sure that we highlighted and underscored that Tidepole really wanted to serve the community, really had a vision to support diverse voices and those that are underserved in the East Hamilton area. Another part was just gathering data. There's so much information that had to be acquired and gathered and processed and evaluated throughout the grant proposal writing process. And then I also learned about writing the proposal, all the elements, the need statement, the objective, the goals, the abstract summary, the budget, and the conclusion, all of those components that make up a grant proposal. And the challenges and experience I faced, the first was research. I had to understand where to look for grant opportunities. It took me longer than I thought that it would for that one assignment. I figured that it might take me a half hour to find something. Well, an hour and a half later, I'm still researching grant opportunities. So it really helped me place more value on the research process. Another challenge I faced was technology. During the first part of the semester, it was government shutdown, and so that really impacted a lot of data sites, such as the Census Bureau sites that we had to look for the demographic data. And so that was something we had to keep in mind, that technology wasn't always our friend. Another experience that I underwent during this class was being appointed leader in my group. So I am not naturally inclined to be a leader. I'm more of a background person who helps the leader. And so this really helped me and encouraged me to step out of my comfort zone. I was able to help lead my group, keep us on track, and also ensure that everyone contributed, everyone's voice was heard throughout the entire process. That was really important to me. And so it really was a really good experience, which leads into my next experience about the collaboration. So working with my group was a really great experience. We had a great teamwork. We all contributed. We all made sure that we put our best effort in, which was really important when working within a group. I also first experienced working with a community partner. Other classes, we would have an imaginary organization or imagined community partner, but this one we actually had an existing real life community partner in Tideful. And so that really elevated the project and really made it more important because this is more than just a paper. This is actually serving the community. And so it's significant to note that one of the key concepts that really stuck with me throughout this course was what I learned from our course material. In the only grant writing book you'll ever need, Harsh and Fox, they mentioned how being mission minded is so much more important than being funding minded. If you have that passion, if you have that vision, um, it'll carry you through and you'll be able to communicate and your goals and your objectives. It's just really important to keep the purpose before seeking funds. And so whenever we got the materials from Tidepool, I saw the document and all the different projects and programs they wanted to start. And what spoke to me the most was the youth program. Being a mom of two teens, I understood the importance of career readiness. I valued programs that really help teens transition into have a successful transition into an adulthood. So that program really spoke to me. And then I was placed in a group that they all felt that the youth skill building program was important as well. So having people around you that are like-minded really helps the effort and really helps stay one-minded and one-tracked, especially in writing a grant proposal. And it really made the creation of the grant proposal a lot easier because we are supporting something that we can get our hearts behind. Then concepts beyond this course. So I learned a lot about research skills. I thought that I was pretty good at research skills, but this class helped me fine tune that area. And that is definitely a skill that is applicable in the workplace. Another concept was being detail oriented. Like I mentioned before, this does not come naturally to me. And so I really had to shift my perspective to focus on the details, make sure nothing was left out, that everything was important. And another concept was having the confidence to express and share my ideas with a collaborative spirit. I'm more introverted, more shy. And so this course really helped me step out of that comfort zone and express my ideas and share my ideas and contribute and also make room at the table for other people to contribute and share their ideas. And so so these concepts really helped me prepare for the future. So in conclusion, I'm really grateful for the opportunity for this course. I appreciate the experience of working with the community partner Tidepool. Like I said, it really elevated the value of this project to me because it's actually going to a real person, a real organization. And I'm looking forward to applying this newly gained knowledge in the future. Here is the resource page since I talked about the only grant writing book you'll ever need. And thank you so much for just the opportunity to take this class and for the knowledge that I gained through this.